of this level 3 consciousness that we as a community attempt to embody and we're formed in and through is about contacting and following the direction of this impulse of evolution that Barbara Marx Hubbard talks about and Edgar Cohen as well. But doing that literally every single moment of our lives, that we're not doing this here and there, we're literally living embodiment of that, that every action you or I take or word we speak is infused with that impulse. And we are aware of that, and that that's who we are. So it's allowing that. And in Barbara's model, and as you see up on the screen, the impulse actually happened way over on this far side. And there's where the big bang occurred. And that same energy is what drives you and I today. As the reading was saying, is that whenever we're inspired to do something, that is your experience of the impulse of evolution in you, moving in and through you to co-create, be in relationship with, or whatever, to manifest the level of consciousness that you are here to embody. And that's a very purposeful thing. So we've been going through an entire series of learnings about consciousness in 2012. So I'm just going to kind of put together this year about what we've been really learning. The first is that this impulse of evolution motivates us to recognize and evolve eternally through developmental levels of consciousness. It's how it manifests itself. Just as evolution itself goes through these spirals that Barbara talks about in her drawing, is that first there was life, then there was the universe, then there was. It's the same as there was first level consciousness, there's second level, there's third level. So as we do this, is that in every single level of consciousness presents us with problems that the current level of consciousness can't solve unless we shift up in consciousness. So we have to move, and that's where the solution is in the next step up. So that's a main learning for us. The second thing is to understand that the impulse is always telling us that there is more, and to trust ourselves. One of the things I love about Alan's work is that, or Andrew's work, is that he's talking about the fact that the impulse of evolution is never satisfied. Isn't that funny? You know, in the nirvana-like environment time, we work for this infinite peace, like where nothing's happening, kind of, in a way. And he's saying, no, the impulse will never be happy with that. It will always be motivating us and pushing, and for us to really realize that that's a good thing. That's life. That's how we're motivated to keep living and moving. And so understanding to trust ourselves in that and move forward, follow that impulse and move forward. And so our eternal work, this will never stop. Isn't that something new to consider? That we will eternally be evolving, changing, and developing. Eternally. There's no getting off the world. I know there was a theme or a song at one time, I want to get off the world. Well, you can't. You're in it, and you're in the mix. And so in some form, you will always be present, and evolving and changing as being a part of this bigger picture of evolution. The next learning that we've had is that this impulse of evolution is asking us to do what it takes individually and collectively to transcend level 2 consciousness in order to anchor level 3 consciousness. And Paula and I were even talking this morning in our time of meditation, we always have this reading, and it was talking about the fact that we, when are we going to choose to step into it? Not just talk about it, because it's good to learn about it, that's where we start. But the idea that we step into it fully and completely and dedicate ourselves to it. What would it be like if we look towards 2013 and saying, how would I change what I do at my work, in my home, all my relationships to live in level 3 consciousness starting January 1st? So I'm a little ahead on the New Year's revolutions. Well, it could be a revolution. But revelation of some sort. Just to offer that up as a potential where we might all go together to dare to do this work and shift. Another learning is that this impulse of evolution is asking us to embrace spiritual practices that actually attune to that impulse of evolution so we can follow its guidance in our life.